Live from the BDN Studios, it's Bang and Dang.
That's awesome.
If you don't like that, then
You ain't black.
Welcome back to Outlaws and Gunslingers with the host Bang and Dang, and boy, do we have a good one for you guys. One of the most controversial mass shootings probably ever, and definitely within recent memory. The Las Vegas shooting, so many questions, so many non-answers, and so many what's the word I'm looking for? So many stuff not adding up in this whole
Just weird
thing, and still to this day, 5 years later, nothing has been answered.
Nothing.
As to why did he do it, what happened in the room, all this stuff is still unanswered to this day. Las Vegas. During the little country music festival, Jason Aldean on stage. I'm sure everybody's seen the videos. There's multiple of them out there.
Right.
Almost 5 years to the day. We missed it a little bit. It's October 14th now. This happened October 1st of 2017.
Whatever.
5 years.
It's October 15th anyway.
Well, either or. The deadliest mass shooting committed by an individual in United States history. Stephen Paddock opened fire on a crowd, like I said, at the Route 91 Harvest Music Festival on the Las Vegas Strip. Supposedly, now this is going to factor in later on, supposedly from his 32nd floor suite in the Mandalay Bay Hotel. We'll get to that later. He fired more than 1,000 bullets, killing 60 people, wounding at least 413 in the ensuing panic, with everybody running around fucking crazy.
Total number. He got herded. Ran over by herd.
That's what I'm saying. The ensuing panic brought the total number of injured to approximately 867.
Jeez.
And we've seen the old photograph of him laying down on laying dead on his floor in the hotel room.
Right.
From a supposed self-inflicted gunshot wound, which we'll get to that later as well. The motive not been officially determined.
I don't understand why he would kill himself. Nobody knew what was going on at that point. He could easily just went to sleep.
Well, we'll get to that. Well, no. Well, yeah, we'll get to all that shit as well.
He didn't. He went to sleep.
And he didn't even shoot himself in the head. Shoot himself in the chest. Who suicides himself in the chest?
Right.
Yeah, there's so many stuff that we'll get to, but obviously first we're going to cover the incident leading up to the actual incident, the aftermath, of course, them pushing the gun laws ever since then, and lots of conspiracy stuff with this one. Of course, Paddock was born in Clinton, Iowa. Clinton, Iowa, where his family lived at the time, I'd hope. He grew up in Tucson, Arizona, though, in the Sun Valley neighborhood of Los Angeles, all over the place.
It's everywhere.
He's the oldest of four sons of Benjamin Paddock and Dolores Hudson. Benjamin, his daddy, was a bank robber who was arrested in 1960 when Stephen was 7 years old.
Oh.
He was later convicted and escaped prison in 1969, subsequently appearing on the FBI's most wanted list. According to Stephen's brother Eric, he was never with my mom.
Oh.
And Stephen had limited interaction with Benjamin following the latter's release from prison.
I mean, release? I thought he escaped.
Well, I mean, bank robbery, he probably only did a few years. I'm pretty sure he only did some minor bank robbing, bad check, robbing branches of the valley, $11,000,
Right.
$9,000, $4,000. Sentenced 20 years, yeah. So
Tried running down an FBI agent with his car. Oh, shit.
he was on the list, one of the longest of anybody, being placed there at 69 and removed on 77. So he was out there for a while, running around.
They removed him 77. It was like, yeah, whatever.
Well, I think they called him. Had to have, right? He was twice cited for traffic violations. You applied for a granted license to open a bingo partner. You can go back to prison?
And his identity was not uncovered. No. He then operated a bingo parlor.
Oh, he was captured and arrested early September 78.
He was eventually
Released on parole.
What? Damn. Whatever, I guess.
And then arrested again in 87 for racketeering for his bingo business.
Oh, jeez.
And avoided prison but paid a $100,000 fine.
And rolling back car odometers. They used to get people big time for that.
Yeah. Then he lived quietly in Texas, where he co-owned a car shop with his girlfriend.
Look at that.
Grandma.
Fantastic.
Well, his daddy died in 98. He looks like a freaking psycho.
Does.
Yeah, so clearly that's another thing that'll play into his motives and
issues.
Mental issues.
Right. Well, according to one of Stephen's ex-wives in a police interview, He had spoken about how growing up with a single mother and the family's financial instability caused him to prioritize being self-reliant and self-sustaining. He said, you got to look out for yourself.
Right.
Paddock attended
You make your own way in life.
Right. Paddock attended Richard E. Byrd Middle School and Sun Valley High School. Graduated from John H. Francis Polytechnic High School.
Isn't a Polytechnic high school like a smart high school?
I think so, right? He did that in 1971 and graduated from California State University, Northridge, in 1977 with a degree in business administration.
Okay, so far so good. I mean,
Yep. Working out.
didn't let his family life growing up affect him, apparently. He's a good college degree. And well, Paddock worked as a letter carrier for the U.S. Postal Service from 75 to 78.
Got his college degree in
a
postal service.
There we go. Connection to the government, which we'll get to that as well. After that, he worked as an IRS agent until 1984.
Wow.
1985, he worked as an auditor for the Defense Contract Audit Agency. Toward the end of the 80s, he worked for 3 years as an internal auditor for a company that later merged to form Lockheed Martin. What does Lockheed Martin do? Big government contracts.
Right.
He was known to have run a real estate business with his brother Eric as well. He lived in the greater Los Angeles area and owned personal property in Panorama City, Cerritos, and North Hollywood from the 70s to early 2000s.
Dude, it's making some money.
He also owned 2 apartment buildings in Hawthorne, California. In addition, he owned an apartment complex in Mesquite, Texas, which he sold in 2012.
Look at that shit.
Got some money.
All right. Relatives said that Paddock was worth at about $2 million, and he sold off the real estate business. Among his most profitable investments was an apartment complex purchased in 2004, which gave him more than $500,000 in annual income.
Annual, dude.
By 2011.
Oh.
IRS records show he made $5 to $6 million in profits from its sale in 2015.
Wow.
Dang, this dude was just rich.
Mm-hmm.
Paddock was an avid gambler, though, although the extent which he profited from is unclear. His reported gambling winnings might have been substantial or not, or
we might get to this, but it's noted that he would spend literally like $30,000 a day gambling.
Right.
So you got to win something with that, right?
You don't.
I hope so. He was sometimes seen in high limit rooms, of course, but he was not well known among high stakes gamblers in Las Vegas. This was not considered a whale, which is a high roller by the casinos.
Okay.
His game of choice was video poker. Yeah, because he's only doing video poker,
Right.
which he had played for over 25 years. He usually gambled after dark and slept during the day. He disliked being out in the sun. Oh, he was a sonophobe, huh?
Oh.
Paddock was married and divorced twice. He was first married from 77 to 79, and for the second time from 85 to 90.
Short-lived.
Both of them in Los Angeles. Family members say he stayed on good terms with his exes, though.
Oh, that never happens.
Well, barely. Very rarely.
All right. Well, Paddock lived in Texas and California, and then in a retirement community in Melbourne. That's in Florida.
Yes, sir.
From 2013, 2015, 2016, he moved from Florida to another retirement home in Mesquite, Nevada. He liked Mesquite, huh? Mesquite, Texas, Mesquite, Nevada. Anywhere there's Mesquite.
When was he born? He was 64. Already in a retirement home?
Dang. According to the property records, he bought a new house in Mesquite in January 2015. Sold his 2-bedroom home in Melbourne. Paddock lived in Mesquite with his girlfriend, who he had met several years before in Reno. According to neighbors, they also lived together in Reno. Any Mesquite residents recalled only seeing him around town. That was it. We just seen him around town.
Where else would you expect to see him?
Right. Those familiar with Paddock described him as someone who did not speak much. He kept a low profile. The local gun owner community never saw him at any of the gun clubs or shooting ranges, including makeshift ones in the nearby desert.
You would think he'd be there.
Right.
Well, an Australian acquaintance said he met Paddock in the United States and in the Philippines.
Oh, shit.
He described Paddock as intelligent and methodical.
Oh.
In his account, Paddock said he had won money by applying algorithms to gambling on machines. Oh, he hacked the system, huh?
Oh, good for him.
He was conversant in gun laws and in defending his view of the Second Amendment. The acquaintance considered Paddock a generous man whenever he and his girlfriend visited him. He's like, I pay for everything. 2010, Paddock applied for and received a United States passport. Why wouldn't he? He went on 20 cruise ship voyages, visiting several foreign ports, including ones in Spain, Italy, Greece, Jordan, and the United Arab Emirates.
Oh.
He was accompanied by his girlfriend on 9 of them.
Hey.
So he went on 11 by himself. Yeah.
Hey.
They went to the Philippines together in 2013 and 14.
Look at that shit.
Good for them. Just traveling, man.
See, he's got everything. What the hell's his problem?
Right. What the hell, man?
What the hell's his problem? Did he hit his head or something? Well, during the last year of his life, they traveled on a cruise to the Middle East. Paddock had his pilot's license since at least 2004 and owned 2 small planes.
Huh.
Paddock's only recorded interaction with law enforcement was a minor traffic citation years before the shooting, which he settled in court. According to the court records, Paddock also sued the Cosmopolitan of Las Vegas. Why? He did that in September 2012, saying that he slipped and fell on obstruction on the floor. And he was injured. The lawsuit settled and dismissed with prejudice in October 2014. Wow. So they're trying to say that he was taking advantage of the system there.
Well, meanwhile, Paddock's girlfriend states afterwards that he did not talk at any length about politics and did not belong to any political organizations. In addition, he often complained about being sick and was sensitive to chemical smells. I mean, a lot of people are sensitive to chemical smells, right? During his last months, Paddock reportedly often smelled of alcohol from early morning, and he appeared despondent. He was reported to have filed or filled prescriptions for anti-anxiety drug Valium in 2013.
He was hooked on Valium.
2016, and finally again in June of 2017, the latter being 4 months before the shooting. Chief medical officer of the Las Vegas Recovery Center said the effects of the drug can be magnified by alcohol, obviously, as confirmed by Michael First. Yeah, everybody knows that any pill is going to heighten with alcohol.
Jeez, idiots. During an interview with local CBS affiliate KLAS TV, Clark County Sheriff Joe Lombardo said Paddock had reportedly been losing a significant amount of wealth since September 2015.
How would he know?
Right, which led to his having bouts of depression. According to his girlfriend, she noticed a decline of affection and intimacy towards her. She was like, he didn't really want to touch me anymore. We used to do it like 3 times a week.
You're so passionate.
He said we used to be really romantic at first during a relationship, and then he just stopped, and his health started to decline. Why would his health decline? What did he do?
I don't know.
Is it the pills?
Maybe. Get hooked on those pills, man. Well, Paddock's gun purchases spiked significantly between October 2016 and September 28th of 2017. Purchased over 55 firearms.
I feel like there's something missing here in the story. Just skipped a lot of stuff.
It's his life, man.
I guess.
All we know is what's on record.
I guess.
He purchased over 55 firearms, the majority of them rifles. According to the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, which is named the ATF. They leave the E out.
Right.
He also purchased a number of firearm-related accessories. Prior to that, he purchased approximately 29 firearms between 82 and 2016, mainly handguns and shotguns.
Dang.
His girlfriend noticed the increase of firearm-related purchases, but believed his interest in guns was just a hobby.
Right. Why not?
At his suggestion, 2 weeks before the attack, his girlfriend went to her native country, the Philippines. Paddock bought her a surprise airline ticket and soon after wired her $100,000 to buy a house there.
Oh, shit.
He said, baby, you just go now.
All right. Here's 100 G's.
That was probably a lot of money in damn Philippines, too.
Okay. Most of their communication during this time was primarily through email and text message. He was spotted in Vegas with another woman, reported by investigators to be a prostitute. It was later confirmed that this woman was not an accomplice. Nor considered a suspect.
She just wanted to get dick down, man.
Yep. Name has not been released. 2 days, right. 2 days prior to the shooting, Paddock was recorded by a home surveillance system driving alone to an area for target practice located near his home. According to his girlfriend, Paddock repeatedly cased Las Vegas Village from different windows in their room when they stayed at the Mandalay Bay a month before the shooting.
Like she covering her own ass here? Or what's going on?
What's going on here?
Supposedly, he also may have considered attacking previous events. He had researched large-scale venues in cities such as Boston and since at least May of 2017.
Dang.
He reserved a room overlooking the August 2017 Lollapalooza Festival in Chicago, but he didn't use it.
Oh, wow.
From September 17th of 2017, Paddock stayed at the Ogden in downtown Las Vegas, which overlooked the open-air Life is Beautiful festival that ran from September 22nd to the 24th.
Wow.
Paddock's internet search terms from mid-September included SWAT weapons, ballistics chart 308, SWAT Las Vegas, and do police use explosives?
Oh, shit. Why would he want to know that?
Because he barricaded himself in the room.
Right, but then he can use explosive in the hotel.
They'll bust open the door. Hell yeah, they would.
Maybe.
Pretty sure they did. This stuff wasn't on like a watchdog thing when you're searching this stuff.
Right.
I can't count how many lists I'm probably on from these episodes.
Shit. Holy shit. Well, Paddock arrived at the Mandalay Bay, 25th September, 2017. Booked into room 32-135, a complimentary room on the 32nd floor. 4 days later, you're also checked into directly connected room 32-134. Both suites overlooked the site of the concert at Las Vegas Village. During his stay at the Mandalay Bay, Paddock spent most of his time gambling, usually at night.
Obviously.
He interacted with employees more than 10 times, including twice on the day of the shooting. At the MGM Resorts International spokesperson said, all the interactions were normal in nature. He seems like this is a regular guy.
Right.
Cell phone records show that he also made multiple visits to his home in Mesquite. Dang, just going
Back and forth, huh?
Yeah.
With help from hotel bellmen, he brought 5 suitcases to his room on September 25th,
Wow.
7 on the 26th. They don't think this is weird that one guy has all this stuff?
They're like, dude, what are you doing? Moving in, bud?
2 more on the 28th, 6 on the 30th, and 2 more on October 1st, the day of the shooting.
Oh, my.
His arsenal of weapons, associated equipment, and ammunition included 14 AR-15s.
Wow.
With the bump stocks. Everybody remembers the old bump stock debate after this. 12 of which had 100-round mags.
Jeez.
8 AR-10 type rifles, a bolt action rifle, and a revolver. September 30th, he placed a do not disturb sign on the doors of both rooms. There's so many red flags already. I don't know how this guy is not.
Right.
I don't understand it.
Stupidity. Well, the shooting occurred between 10:05 p.m. and 10:15 p.m. 10 minutes of horror. And that was on October 1st, 2017, which was third and final night of the festival. When the shooting began, country music singer Jason Aldean was giving the closing performance.
Mm-hmm.
Shortly after 10 o'clock, hotel security guard.
Shortly before
10 o'clock, hotel security guard Jesus Campos was sent to the 32nd floor to investigate an open door alert. He attempted to open a door that provided immediate access to the floor, but found that it would not open. After Campos entered the floor, he discovered an L-shaped bracket screwed into the door and door frame. Oh, wow. Which was responsible for barring the door from opening, obviously. After reporting the discovery to his dispatch center, he heard that he thought was a sound of rapid drilling coming from room 32-135 and went to investigate the matter. He's like, there's some crazy stuff going on over
This
here.
is also weird stuff already with this guy. Approximately 10:05 p.m., he was hit in the right thigh by one of about 35 bullets that Paddock fired through the door of his suite.
Why?
After Campos was hit, he took cover in the alcove between rooms 32-122 and 32-124 and immediately informed the hotel by radio and cell phone that he'd been shot.
All right.
Though he believed he'd been shot with a BB or a pellet gun. At the same time, maintenance worker Stephen was on the same floor to fix the door that Campos had reported as being barricaded.
Right. That was quick.
Right. He was a damn good maintenance man.
Yeah.
The already wounded Campos encountered Chuck and told him to take cover. Chuck contacted hotel dispatchers over his radio, informed them of the ongoing shooting, and told them to call the Popos.
All right.
Neither the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department nor MGM Resorts International, the Mandalay Bay's owner, have confirmed when information about the initial shooting was relayed to the police. Why? Why not?
Really? After Paddock used a hammer to break 2 of the windows in both of his suites, he began shooting through them at about 10:05 p.m.
So the same time he opened fire on the kid.
He ultimately fired over 1,000 rounds, approximately 490 yards into the festival's audience. He initially started out with a few single gunshots before he fired into bursts that usually range from 80 to 100 rounds at a time. Many people in the crowd initially mistook the gunfire for fireworks. Did you see any fireworks?
Right.
During the shooting, security hence, what if he would have killed old Justin Aldean?
No, that motherfucker was off to safety and out of the city.
Right. He was done, home, sleeping already by 10:15. During the shooting, a security fence hindered concert goers from fleeing the 15-acre concrete lot. The gunfire continued, with some momentary pauses over the span of 10 minutes and ended at about 10:15 p.m. During these pauses, Darren reloaded, and while the assailant was confronting Campos, he was confronting him. Most concert goers down below were able to flee the venue. They're like, all right, we got a little bit of time. You think if you had all those guns,
What's also exactly we'll get into that as well. In addition to shooting at the concert goers, Paddock fired 8 bullets at a large jet fuel tank.
Oh shit!
At McCarran International Airport, since renamed the Harry Reid International Airport, 2,000 feet away.
Right.
2 of those bullets struck the exterior of the tank, with 1 bullet penetrating the tank. It did not explode because jet fuel is mostly kerosene, which is unlikely to ignite when struck by a bullet.
Right.
During the shooting, police officers were initially confused whether the shots were. Wait, what, let's say this again. During the shooting, police officers were initially confused whether the shots were coming from the Mandalay Bay or the nearby Luxor Hotel or the festival grounds themselves. There were also multiple false reports of additional shooters at other hotels on the Strip.
Oh, shit.
Really?
False reports, my ass.
Right.
Wow. Officers eventually spotted multiple flashes of gunfire from the middle of the northern side of Mandalay Bay and responded to the hotel. About 10:12 p.m., 2 officers on the 31st floor reported the sounds of gunfire on the floor above them. Officers arrived on the 32nd floor at 10:17 and encountered Campos a minute later. He directed them to Paddock's room and helped others evacuate. Campos was then directed to seek medical attention for himself. He's like, you're bleeding, bud.
Right.
Between 10:26 and 10:30, 8 additional officers arrived at 32nd floor. Some of those officers manually breached the door that Paddock had screwed shut with the bracket.
Well, by this time, gunfire had ceased, and the police moved systematically down the hallway, searching and clearing each room using a master key that was provided by Campos. At 10:55, the officers finished evacuating guests. About 11:20, police breached room 32-135 with explosives.
Oh,
Paddock was found dead on the floor from a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. That's debatable. Police then breached room 32-134 while entering the hotel suite. An officer accidentally fired a 3-round burst from his weapon, but the bullets did not hit anybody.
what the fuck?
Why would you accidentally fire?
Right, and 3 rounds.
Right. At 11:27, officers announced over the police radio that a suspect was down.
That's a long time.
Are we sure he was shot in the head?
Right.
I don't know.
And why did they wait till 11:27 to say that the guy was down?
Right. And, well, we'll get to that.
That was 7 minutes later.
Yeah.
Well, the McCarran International Airport adjacent to the shooting site was shut down for several hours. Approximately 300 people entered the airport grounds as they fled from the shooting.
There was an airport right next to where the concert was. That'd been
crazy.
Stupid.
Right. This prompted officials to shut down all 4 runways. More than 25 flights were rerouted to ensure that no aircraft would be hit by gunfire, while other flights were canceled before airfield operations resumed at 12:40 a.m. on the 2nd of October. Much of Las Vegas Boulevard was closed while police SWAT teams combed the venue and neighboring. Why? That SWAT teams combed the venue and neighboring businesses. Approximately 2:45 p.m. on the 2nd of October, a state of emergency was declared in Clark County. What?
The next day. Makes sense. The suspect's already down. Why would they declare a state of, I guess, to get funds that they need to take care of the
That's a little late.
bodies and stuff.
Should have declared that early.
I guess.
Early on October 2nd, Sheriff Lombardo identified the suspect as Stephen Paddock.
Well, as of October 2020, there were 60 deaths, not including that of Paddock. The immediate dead comprised 58 victims, 36 women, 22 men, all of whom died from gunshot wounds. Oldest was 67, the youngest was 20.
Jeez.
34 were from California, 6 from, not even from the place that you were.
Right.
6 were from Nevada, 4 from Canada, 2 from Alaska and Utah, and 1 each from Arizona, Colorado, Minnesota, Massachusetts, New Mexico, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Washington, West Virginia, and Wisconsin.
Dang.
31 of the victims were pronounced dead at the scene, while 27 died from their wounds at the hospital, with the last of those dying on October 3rd, 2 days later. Paddock's suicide was the only death at the Mandalay Bay Hotel.
57-year-old woman from California who had been paralyzed in the shooting died more than 2 years later on 15th of November 2019. August 24th, 2020, the San Bernardino County Medical Examiner officially attributed her death to the shooting. They're like, that's probably why. I wonder if it was like a kidney shot or something.
Something messed her up, right?
Though the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department declined at the time to include her in the official death toll. Like, no, you're not putting another one on us. That's what they do too. They're not doing that.
All right.
The Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department also initially declined to include a 49-year-old Nevada woman who died from complications of a leg wound on the 26th of May in 2020. The department revised its decision, however, and on October 1st, 2020, 3 years later, included both women in the count. The incident is the deadliest mass shooting committed by an individual in the United States, exceeding the death toll of 2016 Orlando nightclub shooting, in which 49 people were killed.
Jeez, dude. Well, approximately 867 people were injured, like we said, at least 413 of them with gunshot wounds or shrapnel injuries.
Jeez.
In the aftermath, many victims were transported to area hospitals, which included University Medical Center of Southern Nevada, Sunrise Hospital and Medical Center, and at least one of the 6 hospitals of Valley Health System. Sunrise Hospital treated the largest portion of the wounded, which was 199 patients, 150 of whom arrived within a time span of about 40 minutes. University Medical Center treated 104 patients. Additionally, 6 victims sought medical treatment in Southern California. Drove all the way, I guess it's not that far. UC Irving Medical Center treated 4, and Loma Linda University Medical Center treated 2. Many victims of the shooting required blood transfusions, which totaled 499 components in the first 24 hours. Wow.
Jeez.
This blood was rapidly replaced by available blood from a local and national blood banks.
Damn, blood they got on
I
hand.
would assume, right? Yeah.
Jeez. Do you think they keep the blood from the people they die when they exhume them?
Only if it
Not
says
exhume, but
they balm them.
Yeah.
Only if it's
fresh.
only if they have it on their whatever that they're a donor.
Right.
I think you can donate your blood, can you? I don't know. Should be able to.
University Medical Center, the level 1 trauma center in Las Vegas, was difficult to access for more than 50% of patients transported by private vehicles because Interstate 15, the most direct route from the shooting location, was closed.
Oh, who gives a shit if there's emergency vehicles there blocking it? You're like, I got a fucking shooting victim.
Right. Letting me go. Also, an erroneous emergency service announcement made 1 hour after the shooting reported UMC had reached capacity. So, and we got to divert people out here. This confusion persisted for several hours and led to most patients being transported to Sunrise at level 2 trauma center.
Yeah, you can't go to a level 2 with multiple bullet wounds, dude.
Geez, come on.
Officials from the FBI, here we go. Officials from the FBI and the ATFE responded to assist in the investigation. According to the authorities with the Clark County Commission, the name 1 October was declared the official title for investigations into the mass shooting. Investigators found hidden surveillance cameras that were placed inside and outside the hotel room, presumably so Paddock could monitor the arrival. The cameras were not in record mode, though.
Oh, of course not.
Police said well, that's his cameras that he was monitoring the hallways with. Police said a handwritten note was found in the room indicating Paddock had been calculating the distance, wind, and trajectory from his 32nd floor hotel suite to the concert goers he was targeting in the festival.
No shit. Press conference, 4th of October. Clark County Sheriff Joe Lombardo stated there was evidence, which he declined to discuss, that Paddock was intended to escape the scene, and they may have had assistance from an accomplice.
Oh, really?
Oh. Investigators searched Paddock's room and found a bulletproof vest, breathing apparatus, and neither of which were used by Paddock.
Why do you add letters on the things?
Right, apparatus, not aspiratus. There have been several changes in the official account and timeline of Paddock's shooting of hotel security guard Campos.
Oh, there sure has.
Police officials described 3 adjustments as minute changes. They are common in complex investigations.
Are you sure about that?
Like, this is common. Like, no.
Well, in their first statement about the incident, police officials inaccurately reported that Campos arrived on the scene after Paddock began firing into the crowd. A second statement, police officials reported again inaccurately that Campos was shot 6 minutes before Paddock began firing. That report had been based on a 9:59 p.m. notation and a hotel security log, which in a third statement was determined to have been the time when Campos encountered the barricaded door.
Right.
So they're saying 1 minute before the shooting. Or 6 minutes, right?
Right, 6 minutes.
So, okay.
Well, the sheriff dismissed allegations that the change in timeline was the result of some kind of conspiracy between the police department, the FBI, and MGM Resorts International, saying nobody is attempting to hide anything in reference to this investigation.
Well, it sure seems like it.
The dynamics and the size of this investigation requires us to go through voluminous amounts of information in order to draw an accurate picture.
Okay.
That sounds like guilty right there.
Right. Right. The Las Vegas Police Department released a preliminary report on the event on January 18, 2018. Police speculate that Paddock acted alone and have not determined his motive. And so the theory of somebody helping him just is gone, right? No links have been identified to any hate groups, terrorist groups, or ideologies, and he did not record a reason for his actions. February 2nd, 2018, Douglas Haig, an Arizona ammunition dealer, was charged in a Nevada federal court with conspiracy to manufacture and sell armor-piercing ammunition without a license after his fingerprints were discovered on unfired armor-piercing ammunition in Paddock's suite.
Oh, shit.
He was sentenced in June 2020 to 13 months in prison. I mean, he can't be selling illegal ammo.
Right. 3rd of August, 2018. Clark County Sheriff Joe Lombardo held a press conference on the release of the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department Criminal Investigation Report of the October 1st mass casualty shooting. He said the 10-month investigation had revealed no evidence of conspiracy or a second gunman, and that the gunman's motive had not been definitely determined. Lombardo said, what we have been able to answer are the questions of who, what, when, where, and how. What we have not been able to answer is why Stephen Paddock committed this act. A report published by the FBI's Behavioral Analyst Unit in January 2019 said that there was no single or clear motivating factor for the shooting.
Because that's ever happened in history, right?
His wife's got to know something.
That's ever happened. Any mass shooting in history. Whatever.
No reason.
24 firearms, large quantity of ammunition, and numerous high-capacity magazines capable of holding up to 100 rounds apiece were found in the suite. 14 of the firearms were .223 caliber AR-15s, 3 manufactured by Colt, 2 by Daniel Defense, 2 by FN Herstal, 2 by LWRC International, 2 by POF USA, 1 with a .223 Wild Chamber by Christensen Arms, 1 made to order by LMT, and 1 made by Noveski. The others were 8 .308 caliber AR-10 type rifles, 1 .308 caliber Ruger American bolt action rifle,
All right.
and 1 .38 caliber Smith & Wesson Model 342 revolver. Some of the AR-15s were fitted with bump stocks, like we said, the latter of which allowed for recoil to actuate the triggers at a rate of 90 rounds in 10 seconds.
Right.
Holy shit.
This dude was ready for something. The AR-10 rifles were equipped with various telescopic sights and mounted on bipods. Paddock was found to have fired a total of 1,058 rounds from 15 of the firearms, 1,049 from 12 AR-15 rifles, 8 from 2 AR-10 rifles, and the round used to kill himself from a Smith & Wesson revolver. During the investigation, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives determined that the firearms found in his hotel room, along with more guns found in his homes, had been legally purchased in Nevada, California, Texas, and Utah.
Oh, of course, that's got to be the narrative, right?
Right.
In the month, because it's never illegally purchased guns.
Right.
In the month preceding the shooting, he had attempted to purchase tracer ammunition, but the gun dealer he approached did not have the item in stock. Oh, good for that, I guess. He bought tracer ammunition from a private seller at a Phoenix, Arizona gun show, though.
Yep. It comes up with the gun show.
The old gun show loophole, right? In addition, ammonium nitrate, often used as an improvised explosive device, was found in the trunk of his Hyundai Tucson SUV, along with 1,600 rounds of ammunition and 50 pounds of tannerite.
Ooh, dude, that could have done some shit right there.
Yeah. Under Sheriff Kevin McMahill said that while Paddock had nefarious intent with the material, he did not appear to have assembled an explosive device.
Wow.
Well, if he was planning on escaping, like you guys say, maybe he was doing something for later.
All right. November 2017, lawsuit was filed on behalf of 450 of the victims, which claimed that the Mandalay Bay Hotel had shown negligence by allowing Paddock to bring a large amount of weaponry into the building.
What I just said. What kind of one person guy needs 15 bags?
It's ridiculous.
Nobody says nothing.
July 2018, MGM Resorts International countersued hundreds of victims, claiming that it had no liability of any kind.
So why would they countersue? What are they seeking?
Right. October 3rd, 2019, MGM Resorts reached a settlement of $800 million with the victims of the shooting,
they did.
which was approved by the judge on September 30th, 2020.
Isn't that crazy? Now let's compare that $800 million to the verdict against Alex Jones for $969 million for saying things. On the morning after the shooting, lines to donate blood in Las Vegas stretched for blocks. Yeah, a bunch of drunk people, things, and drug wait times are as much as 6 hours or more.
Oh, jeez.
Las Vegas alone, 800 units of blood were donated to the local bank in the days following, and the American Red Cross reported a 53% increase in the 2 days following the shooting. It was later reported that over 15% of the blood donated after the shooting went unused, prompting questions about the benefit of widespread calls for blood donation following mass shootings. Right. Millions of dollars have also been raised to help victims and their families.
Fantastic. A unity prayer walk and ceremony was held in Las Vegas on the 7th of October in honor of the dead. Speakers at the ceremony included Vice President Mike Pence, Las Vegas Mayor Carolyn Goodman. On the evening of October 15th, thousands participated in a commemorative 3-mile walk between Circus and Mandalay Bay. The annual Rock and Roll Las Vegas Marathon took place on the 12th of November and was the largest event to be held in the city since the shooting. The event received a massive amount of security, which included 350 officers, counter-sniper surveillance posts, and a number of barriers composed of dump trucks, buses, and other large vehicles.
Oh, to kind of like block them from view or something?
Right.
I guess. Well, the expansion Las Vegas Golden Knights of the NHL held a tribute to the victims and honored response personnel before their inaugural home game on October 10th.
Right, isn't that crazy? He's like, man, this is
our first season, and this is what we're getting ourselves into.
Son of a bitch.
Later during the season, the number 58 became the first number in team history to be retired. Chosen for did they redo it for 60?
All right, it should now, huh?
Chosen for the 58 who died immediately or within days. The Mandalay Bay Resort renumbered its floors, skipping floor 32. It's still 32 floors, but
I mean, that's stupid.
Rooms 32, 135, and 32, 134, the rooms rented out by Paddock were sealed off and made inaccessible to guests.
That's stupid. You don't have to change the floor and all that. See, that's the kind of stuff come on now, get over it. I'm not saying get over it, but geez, old fucking Pete.
Well, it's clearly what you just said.
I mean, you don't just get rid of a whole floor.
Well,
just
first of all, it's not even for like the victims or anything like that. You know, you have thrill seekers that let's go to Stephen Paddock's room and blah blah stupid shit like that.
I mean, I guess board in the room, them 2 room shuts fine, but the whole
it's no different than buildings not including the floor 13,
right?
Because of superstition or some stupid shit.
Whatever, man. The future of Las Vegas Village remained undetermined until September 2019. MGM Resorts International intends to create a community center which will host sporting events.
No monuments, no memorial, no nothing.
March 2019, Las Vegas police officer Cordell Hendricks, who did not immediately respond to the gunfire but had remained in the floor below Paddock, was fired for his inaction. Oh, he's like, I ain't going up there.
All right.
He was reinstated a year later following an arbitrator's ruling.
They're like, he probably didn't even have no orders to go up there.
Right.
I'm not saying that he should have just done it by himself, but meanwhile, British soldier Trooper Ross Woodward from the first.
That's a hell of a British name, Ross Woodward. That's British all
Woodward,
day.
Yep. From the first, the Queen's Dragoon Guards, who was visiting a nearby hotel while off duty. I'm assuming this is in Britain. When the shooting began, was awarded the Queen's Commendation for bravery for his actions during the event.
Okay.
His citation stated that he consciously, deliberately, and repeatedly advanced towards danger, moving people to safety and treating casualties.
Fantastic.
Navy Petty Officer First Class Brian Mozzie, who was attending the event with his wife, was awarded the Navy and Marines Corps Medal for his actions as well.
I mean, that's great.
You would think out of the 22,000 people, somebody with experience would be there.
You ain't kidding. A detective with the Rhode Island State Police, Connor O'Donnell.
Oh, shit.
He was also attending an event with his boyfriend. Was awarded a service ribbon for his actions. I was there. Assistant Scoutmaster.
Oh, shit.
Got a Scoutmaster.
He took advantage of all the parents being at the festival and went to the fucking went to see their kids.
He's like, I kept the boys safe. Assistant Scoutmaster.
Sorry, guys. This shouldn't be funny, but come on.
Assistant Scoutmaster Martin Heffernan was honored by Boy Scouts of America for demonstrating unusual heroism. Unusual,
right? Because they're like, Boy Scouts are little bitches, dude.
Right. Unusual heroism and extraordinary skill in saving or attempting to save a life at extreme risk to self, with the honor award with cross palms. Sergeant Chasen Brown with the Utah Army National Guard was awarded the Medal of Valor for saving at least a half a dozen concert goers. 60 to 90 minutes after the shooting stopped, he continued to help render aid and assess casualties. Why wouldn't you not?
Good for him. What happens to why don't any of the, these guys are in the Navy and the Army and the service. They're expected to do things like this.
They shouldn't get
where's these awards for the fucking the hundreds of citizens that were doing the same thing?
I don't believe
clearly see on the videos.
Yeah, I don't believe you should get medals and shit for that.
Okay, wait a minute. Oh, never mind. Several people who were at the scene of the shooting when it occurred were also present. Yeah, this is fucked up. They were also present during the November 2018 mass shooting at the Borderline Bar and Grill in Thousand Oaks, California, which left 13 dead, including the gunman. One person said the number of Las Vegas survivors at the bar may have been as high as 60.
Dang.
It was confirmed that a survivor of the Las Vegas shooting died in the Thousand Oaks shooting. Ain't that a bitch?
Ain't that ain't crazy, huh?
Nevada Governor Brian Sandoval called the shooting a tragic and heinous act of violence that has shaken the Nevada family. Jason Aldean, who was singing when the shooting started, said, I got the hell out of there, but condolences to all those that were affected.
Right.
Shut up.
Jeez, O.P.
Gotta give him props, though. At least when this shit happened, everybody else was calling against gun rights and shit like this. And this dude was like, hold on, no. At least he...
Just wait a minute, guys. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Everybody hates him now, by the way.
Of course they do.
Him and his wife are... I think she's a country singer, too, but they're like both fucking outspoken about everything. So
what you can do, right? You've seen it firsthand. Right. Press conference. President Donald Trump described Paddock as a very, very sick individual.
But he was good times, too. He was a good man as well.
He was a demented man with a lot of problems, he said. He also added, the police department has done such an incredible job, and we'll be talking about gun laws as time goes by.
Wonder how much that was picked apart and how much of he's a piece of shit.
Right. A White House official talking points memo distributed to Trump allies opposed tightening gun control since new laws won't stop a madman, but will curtail the freedoms of law-abiding citizens. I mean, it's all true. October 2nd, Donald Trump issued a proclamation to honor the victims and their families. October 4th, Trump visited the shooting victims and first responders.
Good for him. Yep. The shooting prompted support in Congress for assault weapons legislation that would ban bump stocks. Many congressional Democrats and some Republicans expressed support, though. House leaders said the issue of bump stock regulation should be decided by the ATF, which originally approved bump stocks.
Right.
The NRA came out in favor of administration bump stock regulations. Firearms retailers reported increased consumer interest in bump stocks.
Oh, geez.
November 6, 2017, Massachusetts became the first state to ban the sale, possession, or use of the devices.
I mean, even without the bump stops, he would have done just exactly what he did.
He could have still just, as fast as your finger will pull the trigger. You can do that. You can do that with a handgun.
Yep.
That's what people don't understand. Like, assault weapon or a high-powered semi-automatic. Anything's a semi-automatic.
Yep.
As fast as your finger can pull the trigger, that's as fast as you're going to shoot.
Yep.
Stupid. It's not just AR long guns.
Right. Get the hell out of here, dumb assholes. December 2018, acting United States Attorney General Matthew Whitaker signed a regulation banning bump stocks in the United States of America, effective March 2019. The regulation bans new sales and requires current owners to surrender or destroy existing bump stocks. Yeah, I doubt that happened.
How many of that happened?
18 Democratic U.S. senators introduced a bill, the Keep Americans Safe Act. I love their bill names.
The Patriot Act.
Right. Which would ban gun magazines that hold more than 10 rounds of ammunition.
That's dumb.
Stock prices of firearms manufacturers rose the day after the shooting. Well, it has happened after similar incidents in the past. Investors expected gun sales to increase over concerns that such an event could lead to more stingiest gun control legislation, and possibly due to a rush of customers wishing to defend themselves against future attacks. Obviously, but firearm sales did not increase after the shooting, though.
Well, this is the juicy part. Following the shooting, misinformation and quote-unquote fake news about the shooter's identity and motive went viral on social media.
Okay.
A 4chan thread, which misidentified the shooter and described him as a registered Democrat, was briefly featured in the top story section of Google search for the shooter's name. This was further circulated by a number of websites, including being shared briefly on the Gateway Pundit. The fake news website Your Newswire, who decides that, spread false information about a second gunman purportedly shooting from the 4th floor of the hotel.
Okay. 2 of Facebook's top trending pages were items from Sputnik, a Russian government news agency. These included one story that falsely claimed the FBI had linked the shooter to a terrorist group. The stories were later removed from Sputnik with an apology. Stories linking the shooter to the Antifa movement have also been discredited. Yeah, I don't know about that.
Right.
The terrorist group Islamic State of Iraq and Syria claimed that Paddock was its soldier who had answered Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi's call to attack coalition countries' citizens.
Baghdadi.
I mean, it might be Baghdadi, yeah. Baghdadi.
They killed him. He did.
Right. ISIS provided no evidence for this, though. Had previously released multiple false claims for responsibility for other incidents as well. And no such link was discovered by the FBI.
Yeah, I don't think it was ISIS.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been.
Maybe. Google and Facebook were criticized for displaying such false news stories in some of their search results. Alexis Madrigal of the Atlantic accused the 2 technology companies of failing in their responsibility to keep these from reaching the public. Facebook later said its algorithms were designed to detect and remove false stories, but failed to work adequately in this instance. Maybe because they weren't false. Survivors of the shooting have been accused of being crisis actors. Some have received death threats on social media. Conspiracy theorists have claimed that there were multiple shooters and the details of the massacre are being covered up for the sake of promoting gun control laws. After some media outlets reported that YouTube search results for information about shooting return links to conspiracy videos, YouTube said it had tweaked its search algorithm to promote news sources which it considered more authoritative. Okay. So basically, don't question the narrative. We're not going to let you question the narrative. We're not going to let you watch things that question the narrative.
Right.
Some experts have said the removal of this content ironically fuels conspiracy theories by making a cover-up seem evident.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Right.
She's a freaking Pete.
This is where it gets interesting.
But the crisis actors, though, there has been a lot of them in video.
Well, definitely similar people been at multiples.
I don't know about similar. I don't say the same. A concert goer who attended the Route 91 Harvest Festival, where the shooting took place, told Sky News that he saw a lady who pushed her way forward into the concert venue into the first row.
This is quoted. Yeah, this is a Sky News article that was quoted from some concert goers.
Right. The witness said she started messing with another lady and told us that we're all going to die tonight, before being escorted out by security about 45 minutes before the shooting. After that, the witness said she left the concert and headed back to her hotel room. Man, at least she had intuition.
Hell yeah, I'd be gone too.
Right. When she heard there had been a shooting, the witness, she said, thought it had a positive correlation to the woman's warning. It is unclear, however, whether incident had any relation to the shooting. The witness described the woman and a man she was with as Hispanic and 5-footers. Bunch of 5-footer
little shorties.
Little 5-footer Mexicans. They just looked like everyday people, she said.
This is interesting as well. This is taken from do with this information is we're not saying this is real stuff. This is just some conspiracies that have been floating around. And this is actually true, though, because it's filed off of the SEC. Owners of the Mandalay Bay Hotel sold hundreds of millions of dollars in stock immediately before the shooting.
Really?
As the SEC Insider Transaction reports below detail from September 5th, 2017 to September 12th, 2017, approximately 6 million shares of MGM were sold by officers and or directors of the company, totaling approximately $200 million in proceeds to sellers. Included in this group is the selling of approximately 450,000 shares by MGM CEO and chairman James Murren, a seller of size since late July.
Okay.
And who appears to have sold more than 85% of all holdings.
Wow.
We also see that MGM board member Grounds William Warwick sold 176 million shares of his MGM stock on September 6th of 2017. Most of the men who sold their stock before the shooting decided to sell when the shares were valued at $33.33. If you believe in numerology and Mason stuff and all that, 33, is a significant number.
Right.
Or within pennies of this value, just one day before September 11th. Stock value dropped 5% immediately after the attack, losing $1 billion in value. So they knew something was going to lose some money.
Wow. See, that shit right there, that is no coincidence.
Right.
I'm sorry to tell you.
Exactly.
The news of the Harvey Weinstein and Hollywood sexual scandal emerged just 5 days after the shooting, but it was drowned out by endless coverage of the massacre. Of course it was. Oh, that's it right there. Wow. Several sources are claiming that Weinstein's scandal was leaked by the Alliance. The counter coup pushing for full disclosure. Stephen Paddock was a professional gambler who made a living off of video poker. Successful casino gambler can only be found riding unicorns.
This next stuff we're reading is from like I said, do with what as you will, but these are weird coincidences, and this is from a Reddit sub-thread. So.
Right. Stephen was supposedly a rich real estate guy, but no one knows of any holdings or transactions in his name. Throughout his employment career, he worked for the post office and the IRS, which we know. It seems they pay extremely well since real estate investing needs quite a bit of seed money.
Yeah, well, it's already know how he got his money. Speaking of Campos, the security guard, he was shot when he knocked on the door of Paddock's room, right? But only he wasn't shot then, but 6 minutes before, which they tried to clear that up.
Right.
Didn't bring the police security to the room until 58 people were dead and nearly 500 people were critically injured. And then they have an update here that says timeline has again changed. So the story is now Campos encountered Paddock 6 minutes prior to shooting, was shot 1 minute. Make of this what you will.
Right. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, Campos' house
according to the logs, there was something. Yeah. According to the logs, there was something at 9:59 that said there was a security thing.
Right.
And shooting didn't start for another 6 minutes.
Yeah, get out of there. Come on. Well, Campos' house is guarded by someone who works for a possibly fictitious security company with no physical address and whose license to operate ran out last year. Why does this
thread was made in 2017, by the way.
Right. Why does a witness to a mass killing with the killer dead need protection? Why hasn't he given even one interview to anyone? Stephen Paddock's house gets robbed while the FBI is combing over it for evidence. No further words needed here. Again, his house gets robbed.
Yeah.
Campos disappears right before he is to give 5 interviews.
Yep. This was in the news like big when this happened.
Right.
It was only like a couple days after the shootings, and he just declined all interviews with everybody, dude.
And he had one that included one with Hannity. No one, including the FBI, knows where he is. So the FBI has lost the key witness to the investigation. Meanwhile, scary guys guarding his house 24 hours a day. Wow.
And this is one everybody.
And the police ain't investigating these guys guarding his house?
This is one that everybody has brought up. Hotel casinos, the most most extensively surveyed buildings in the world,
right,
cannot produce even one clip of Paddock going on about his business.
Even bringing in his 15,000 cases and
23 guns and dozens of loaded magazines, but takes over a minute between volleys of fire. If you listen to the video, he goes, and then literally 30, 40 seconds later, then he's firing again. Don't take that long to grab another gun.
Right.
No trails of social media exist for Stephen Paddock either. Nothing at all. Paddock must have not have known that the internet existed. Not only that, you take into account when they interviewed his brother, there's been multiple like body language experts that said this dude is like being real weird.
Right.
And I'm 100% positive that shortly after all this stuff happened, his brother was arrested for like pedophilia. Shit. So they took him down real quick, didn't they?
Oh, jeez. I think it mostly has to do with that Harvey Weinstein shit. Something was going on here where they needed something. And they needed to push gun control.
Needed to push gun control. They had a big story that could possibly include a lot of other high-profile celebrities that advances the cause of what they want.
Yep.
And that shit's about to get out. Not only that, there's also conspiracy theories surrounding that Saudi, like the Saudi prince even was
right,
or people representing him was like a couple floors up,
right,
and he was selling weapons to them,
right,
and that went sideways, and they shot him, and then did some shit, and there's just so much stuff that's never going to be answered. Apparently,
right? No one knows.
That video is never going to be released. Still hasn't been one single video of security cameras released about anything.
Nothing.
Just like there's never been one there's one snippet of the plane supposedly hitting the Pentagon, but no other. One of the most obviously another one of the most recorded places in the world, but no security footage.
Right. Talking about the Pentagon, they had that one where that reporter was live on air. He was like, "Yeah, I was just at the scene at the Pentagon."
He walked right up to it.
He's like, and there's no signs of airplane shrapnel or anything.
He said the largest thing there was like unidentifiable, like scrap.
Right. Get out of here. Pentagon did not get hit by a plane, folks.
Yeah. Well, if we're gonna go that route, how many light posts were immediately in the direction of the Pentagon that didn't get clipped by the wings?
Right.
And if it had, we know that light posts. We've seen videos of aircraft hitting light posts before, and it just completely shears off the wings.
Right.
Number one. Number two, there's been multiple pilots with thousands upon thousands of hours that have done. I think they're like the 9/11 Truth Commission or something like that. They've done like simulation of trying to go land or go that low and keep it without fucking crashing. And every single one of those pilots crashed. And these guys that did it were supposedly just trained for piloting little bush planes and shit like that, dude.
Yeah,
and with like 100 hours of flying.
Yeah, get out.
I mean, come on. If you want to, it just, and people are like, how can you guys say the government could be involved in stuff like this? Because look at, like, we'll get into 9/11 for sure, but this has got the same vibes of that type of stuff. There's nothing concrete. There's been no video evidence around the most surveilled. It's a fucking casino. A casino has like 6 cameras on one damn table.
Frick yeah, man.
I mean, this is ridiculous.
There's cameras in every hallway, every freaking stairway, everything, dude. I don't care.
6 cameras on each side of the building, outside, pointing towards the building.
Damn right.
It's pointing across the street from the buildings. I mean, geez. I mean, I don't know. There's been 5 years and still nothing has been produced of why this happened, or how this happened, or how did this dude carry 12 bags.
Right. And there won't be either. Yeah, 12 freaking bags. Come on. And he had 2 rooms.
Right. Why would you need 2 rooms? And another one of these, if you notice when they said the police breached his hotel room, they breached his room, and then they had to breach the door to the connecting room.
Right.
Why would they have to breach the door to the connecting room if he was running between rooms to shoot out both the windows?
Right.
Why would the door be shut?
Right. Yeah, that make no damn sense. Nothing does. A lot of stuff happened here, bud.
And they never showed the official photo.
No.
All they show of him is supposedly the body on the ground.
Right.
Like you see like a cutoff and like a little bit of blood splatter.
Right. And any other time, there would have been like full freaking pictures.
People have analyzed the blood splatter is not consistent with killing somebody, killing yourself.
Right.
And there's multiple theories that he actually shot himself in the chest, not in his head.
If he shot himself at all.
That's what I'm saying. If he got shot in the chest, that signals somebody shot him.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that was the. Well, also they tried to lay the blame on the Jesus guy, saying that he was the one that shot and killed him and did the rampage, and then shot himself in the leg or whatever, and then covering up for it. Could be.
Maybe both of them were in on it.
Maybe.
And
they said he had an accomplice, but all of a sudden that went away, didn't it?
Maybe that Paddock guy was like, I don't know if we should just do this. You know what? Maybe I was wrong. The guy was like, oh, hell no.
Then the cop mysteriously firing 3 rounds
out of nowhere. Why did he do that?
Not only that, there's video of some people are at a bus station, and all you hear is like just hundreds of rounds going off. You hear that for a couple of minutes, and then you hear a lull, like 20 seconds, and then you hear bang, and then like 10 seconds after that, you hear another bang, and then right after that, there's no more shots fired. So one of those is him killing himself. What's the other one?
Right.
Is that other one the dude shooting himself in the leg to cover it up?
I bet.
At least, dude, we could get into this all day. There's so much.
And Jesus is nowhere to be found. Even
have they found him yet?
I don't think so. But
wait a minute, she interviewed him. Ellen did.
When was this? 2021. Oh shit, he came out and interviewed.
Yeah, I remember seeing clips of him on Ellen.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. He says, as I was walking down, I heard rapid fire and I first took cover. I felt a burning sensation. I went to go lift my pant leg up and I saw the blood. That's when I called it on my radio that shots have been fired.
It don't make no sense that he was shooting through the door, though.
Right.
Not at all. And no one else in none of the other rooms. Nobody was in those hotel rooms.
Police initially said he was shot at 9:59, several minutes before. Then they revised that to about 10:05.
I don't get. Don't make no sense why he would shoot towards the door to the hallway. I just don't get it. That was never his intentions. There's no way he heard anybody out in the hallway. You can't hear shit.
Right. Well, he had cameras that were pointed from his door into the hallway.
That was still just because the guy's walking. You come into his room.
In his interview, he appeared nervous as he recounted the sequence of events in Paddock's room. DeGeneres praised Campbell's as a hero, suggested his appearance on her show would be the only time he would talk about the attack in public. She says, you being shot in the leg saved so many people's lives. How the fuck did that happen?
No.
He still went on a 10-minute rampage where he killed 60 people.
That's right here is all Ellen DeGeneres trying to cover up some shit, trying to make everybody feel better. This was like, hey, let's get this guy out here. Maybe people would stop talking about this conspiracy bullshit.
You saved so many people's lives. How's that? I don't understand how that is.
He was the first one shot.
Oh, geez.
Supposedly the first one shot.
Yeah.
And it sat there for 15 minutes. And the police and the hotel didn't even call the police.
The police arrived on scene at 10:17 and the shooting had already stopped at 15.
Right. But the hotel didn't even call the police.
Yeah. I don't know, guys. There's so many other, I found this one website where there's like 35 reasons, strange occurrences at the shooting. They go on to list like Freemason numerology and Paddock had tattoos that they get into that.
I'm telling you, that Freemason shit, it's not not a joke.
They get into that numerology stuff, which I don't know if I'm a big fan of, to be honest with you. But
if he had Freemasonry tattoos and shit like that, then
the number 13 tattooed on his neck.
Okay.
Yeah, they do a bunch of shit, but you can go look that up for yourself. I'm not getting into that stuff. Either or, we know there's still controversy surrounding this, and likely will be forever. Because I think it's one of those things. It's going to be a 9/11 type deal.
He sent his wife away to
Philippines for a reason.
Most of them don't even say anything to their wives.
Right.
They just go out and do this shit. He sent his wife away to Philippines for something. He's like, you just need to
because he's like, if you stay in the United States, you're going to murder her probably.
Right. He goes, I'm not going to live through this. He wanted to get away, I believe. And that's why he had those explosives, not explosives, but the materials for that in his car.
But he also had armor in his.
He didn't have on,
and he didn't have it on. He also had whatever else the one thing was. He didn't have it.
If he planned on doing some type of, he would have had all that shit on, dude.
Sad, dude.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe he didn't even do it. Maybe he was the guy that was like, hey, let's take these bags up to these rooms, put them in your name, right?
Millions of cameras, no shooter video.
Millions. Except for the cameras from cell phones that people did. And there's a bunch of them there looking at the hotel. And you're like, you see? If the conspiracy ones, you can see. They're like, you can see there's flashes coming out of multiple windows.
Yeah. This is the bus station one. Come on, what the fuck?
And there's already cop cars sitting right there.
Look how long he takes. He could have just grabbed
long.
Another gun.
Or even that.
What they said he did.
But it don't even take that long to
put another mag in, right?
That's a long time.
It's a long ass time. What is this?
People would have been
What
running.
is this? England?
All right.
Not even shooting yet. That was 100 rounds he just let off, and now nothing.
There's 1,000 rounds.
1,053 or something. And then now he's back.
Is she laughing?
I think she's. I don't know. Looks like it.
And why are they still there? I wouldn't be there.
Get in the building. You're in front of a store or something.
Right.
And then he stops again.
They unloaded a clip. He could have easily just grabbed another one and just kept on rolling.
Well, they say he used
all these guns.
a bunch of different guns. So why not just pick up one?
That's the fakest cry right there, dude. That bitch is smiling and laughing the whole fucking time.
I think they're just like shooting randomly just at, the event.
This is propaganda video right here, bud.
I don't care about them. I'm talking about
these guys are getting paid to do this.
I don't care. You can hear the fucking firing.
But I'm saying though, these guys are getting paid to record this video.
Who cares? It means nothing.
That means they knew this shooting was happening.
No.
Yes. None of them seem shocked.
There's another almost 40 seconds between volleys. Now he's done again.
None of these guys are shocked or anything.
Las Vegas right now. I feel so dirty.
Well, we're laying on the floor.
Laying on the ground in Las Vegas. I'm a street dweller.
Did you see any sparks or anything?
There's the hotel.
Yeah. Where do you see anything?
None.
And why are they just right there in view? Go to the other side of the building.
Dude, it's all fake.
Why would
Yeah,
go
this
that
video
far?
right here is so fucking fake. So fucking fake. There's no way.
But listen, I want you to listen around the 4-minute mark, apparently, is when the shots stop for good, but you hear two booms and then a boom.
Shots and we just thought it was fireworks. So we didn't, so we didn't really like move. And so we started.
These are the calmest people in the whole world where all these gunshots just happen to take a and nobody's yelling or screaming. Oh, there's one.
Second one, and it's gone. That's the end of the shooting.
Yeah.
No more shots fired. That's 10 seconds apart, 1 and 1.
Dude, these guys, I'm telling you, this video, these guys are paid to do this. There's no way. There's no yelling and screaming in the background because it's just right there. It's right fucking there. I don't hear no screaming and chaos. I mean, I'm sure it's happened. But where's all the screaming and chaos? This is a setup video.
You're focusing on really the wrong thing here.
I've heard the fucking gunshots. I don't give a fuck about the gunshots.
Clearly, that's what I'm fucking getting at.
I don't care.
2 single gunshots after all those volleys, 10 seconds apart.
You're focusing on the wrong thing.
How am I? I don't give a fuck about the video.
You should be focusing on how these guys are paid to doing what they're doing right now.
Who gives a flying fuck?
They're all laughing.
Who cares?
None of them care.
Who gives a shit?
That's what makes the whole fucking thing
Come on.
garbage.
I'm focusing on the last 2 gunfires.
We heard the last 2 gunfires. I get it.
Okay, that was the purpose of this video. I don't give a fuck about these idiots in the street.
This is a fake ass video. Not fake. I'm sure it was happening at the time, but these guys were paid to sit here with the camera, with their cell phone
Yeah,
cameras
some
on.
white, trashy, fucking nasty whore was paid
Mhm.
and then expected to keep
Dude,
her mouth shut,
You
right?
can tell me all these
Come on,
people are
dude.
just sitting here and
Come on.
smiling and laughing.
Come on.
Smiling and
Don't be an
laughing,
idiot.
right?
Don't be an idiot.
These guys are sitting there smiling and laughing the whole fucking
Some
time.
white, trashy little whore is fucking paid and
Yeah.
expected to keep her mouth shut, right? Come on.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes.
Clearly, they're all fucked up on something and don't give a fuck.
Maybe. I doubt it. It's a fake ass video. None of these guys seem concerned about anything. They're laughing.
I don't know. Like I said before, guys, you guys go look at the video evidence. If YouTube, I'm surprised YouTube even had those ones, to be honest with you still.
Right.
But there's plenty of stuff out there. I doubt you can find people like breaking them down.
Break it down.
You can find the raw video, obviously, but I doubt you can find the ones breaking them down, the inconsistencies.
Even
and all
with that
shit,
little
but-
video we just seen there, that was the view of basically the whole crowd. There was about 150 shots fired, and nobody was panicking. You tell me nobody was shot with those first rounds of firing.
Oh, there definitely was. There's other views of supposedly people like when Live Leak was a thing, they had like the fucking the shits, and like there's one review kind of close to the stage where when it first erupts, you could see a couple people like falling, supposedly getting hit, and then people are still like, what the fuck is happening? And then all the people are like, that's when Aldine notices. He's like,
He's
bye.
Gone. He's gone.
He's gone. And then all like, and then it disperses, and then you see like cell cam footage of the area of people laying there.
And the 40 seconds between firing don't make no damn sense. If you had all those
that's what I'm saying.
rifles, that's a long time in between.
Just to pick it up.
Right.
They were already armed or loaded.
All he had to do is pick that shit up and go again. He wasn't aiming at shit.
I don't know.
He was pointing at
Why would you? There's 22,000 people. All you have to do is...
Right. That's all he was doing.
All you had to do is do the fire extinguisher method.
Right.
Sweep.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
They would have killed a lot more than 60 people, too.
Right. I don't know about that, man. This whole story is funky dunky.
There's so much stuff, dude,
Funky
that is.
dunky.
Okay, he fired from 12 AR-15s.
12 AR-15s. 12 of them.
He fired 1,000 rounds from 12 AR-15s. 8 rounds from 2 AR-10s. I don't know why. And the one round they say to use to kill himself from the Smith & Wesson. Why was there those 2 10-second apart single shots at the end? And 12, 13, 14 different ARs supposedly, and he took a minute in between each.
I only heard 3 different firings. So where do those 14, 15 guns come from?
Well, you've only heard a little clip. It was 10 minutes of 100 round each.
But still, fucking 40 seconds in between. That's
right.
Just,
why would it take that long?
It's garbage. This whole thing. From the whole beginning, when it first happened, I instantly knew just didn't sound right.
And it still doesn't.
No. Jeez, oh Pete.
So this is even, now that I'm looking at this again, telescopic sights.
Right.
And they were mounted on bipods. So he had an incredible, it's not like the gun was getting away from him while he's shooting. Telescopic sights, and he only kills 60. I'm sorry. I mean, I say only, obviously it's fucking 60 is a lot of people, but 22,000 people crammed in like sardines. All he literally had to do was go side to side.
Right.
He should have killed more than 60 people. I don't know. I don't know. This whole thing is just fucked. Like I said, there's plenty of other stuff out there you guys can go look up for yourself. We're not getting into all that Freemason and all that shit stuff.
Seems a little fishy here. Seems a little fishy.
Lots of questions that will never be answered, like I said.
Once again, the FBI and CAA have their fingerprints all over this.
Yep.
And like also the freaking the
ATF
CEO guys of the freaking hotels.
Yep. Nobody wants to talk about that though.
Come on.
But
nobody's ever selling stocks from a hotel, especially in Vegas. I don't give a shit.
MGM, exactly.
Especially the Mandalay Bay. You're not selling stocks.
MGM owns the Mandalay.
Right. What I'm saying. Yeah. Why would you sell stocks from? Get out of here.
Lots of stuff.
Get the hell out of here.
This will be a controversy probably for ever. So I highly doubt anything will ever come about video and everything else like that. So you do with what you will. We obviously you can see the side we skew because we've been saying it for the last few minutes, but the stuff that we read regarding the conspiracy from like the Reddit stuff.
What makes it even worse is
we're not saying it's true.
Is Jesus Costos, whatever his name was.
Campos.
This guy disappears. Story changes by the police 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
They don't call the cops in the beginning of the first call saying I just got shot in the leg.
You know what they say too? The first information is usually more along the lines of the correct ones. Because when this Robb Elementary thing happened, I think like right after they said that he was killed or something like that, and then he locked himself in the room apparently after 12 or an hour or whatever the fuck it was. So I mean, video evidence of the
no cameras
of the chick talking about building 7 collapsing when it's literally on camera in back of her still burning, not collapsing.
Right.
I mean, come on, guys. I'm sure most of you that still listen to the show already probably are in line with most of how we feel. And
There's been a lot
of
of skyscrapers hit by planes that have not tumbled to the ground.
There was just a skyscraper on fire like a mother effer in China the other day, and only that side of the building burned.
That's it.
Yeah,
Get the hell
jet
out
fuel.
of here. The
Jet fuel.
My ass.
That's another story for another time, but
Jeez,
that's going to do it for us and the shooting of Las Vegas and so many
Sick.
questions that are never going to be answered. But like I said, there's a bunch of other stuff you guys can go look up for yourselves, and you'll probably spend hours upon hours doing that. Yeah, if you find anything that we failed to mention, or you have a different view of it, or you think we're full of shit, or you think something else happened, go ahead and email us at bangdangpodcast@gmail.com. Let us know what you think, and let us know how you feel about it. And then meantime, we'll be back next week we got a lot of stuff coming up. We're talking about conspiracies. We still got JFK assassination coming up, MLK assassination coming up. Got a lot of conspiracy involved
We
stuff.
might even do
that's
Malcolm
coming
X.
up. Oh, we're doing Malcolm X too, and there's a lot of conspiracies surrounding that as well. In the meantime, go check out Battles of the American Civil War, another podcast we do where we cover every single battle from the American Civil War, from the first to the last one. We're currently about.
What does everybody know about the Ronald Reagan guy?
We're going to cover him too, Jodie Foster. We're currently about a month away from the second Bull Run, so we got a major battle coming up here, and Battles of the American Civil War, wherever you get podcasts. Plus, we do another show called This Week in Sports History, where we look at the most incredible and not so incredible feats in the history of sports, and that's all on the Bang Dang Network. Go look us up. You'll find a couple other shows that we do there as well. In the meantime, we'll be back next week for
Who knows?
another edition of Truth with Bang and Dang.
Another edition of Exposing the FBI.
Yeah, that's just what it would be called. If we end up missing one of these days, guys, you know why.
Yeah.
We're the Monthly Scanners with
Bang Dang.